So let's start off with what's likely to happen today with Evergrande. What are we likely to see, if anything?
Well, it's the end of the 30-day grace periods on 3 different dollar bonds that were due at the end of October. And as we saw previously with the dollar bond coupon payment that was originally due at the end of September, and they had a 30-day grace period, they paid in the 11th hour some $45 million, as you see there on your screen coming up on the left. But also, again, Saturday they had the coupons due from a unit that dollar bond holders telling Bloomberg they were not paid, so that has another 30-day period. But this big payment of $148.1 million US dollars due today. Of course, we don't have any indication whether they will pay it or won't pay it, but the risk is if they don't, they default. There could be cross defaults on the billions and billions of dollars of outstanding payments that are due from China Evergrande. And as you rightfully said, some of these credit jitters are spreading beyond the junk-rated borrowers in the developer space. Kaisa has been one of the poster children, of course, of late. And they did avoid a default, but again, they have 2 more dollar coupon payments due Thursday and Friday, totaling more than $88 million. So there's tons of stress built up in the obvious junk bond issuers in the property space, but we're already starting to see this credit jitter spread to investment-grade developers and beyond the development space.
Tell us a little bit more about the impact that we're seeing in the investment-grade Chinese dollar bonds so far.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting because, of course, authorities in Beijing have saying they've ring-fenced or, they're confident in ring-fencing Evergrande. But again, the credit market jitters. And look what the Fed said in their stability report. That's what's interesting to me. They are kind of referring to the property market here in China as a risk. And I'll just read one statement from that Fed stability report saying financial stresses in China could strain global financial markets through a deterioration of risk sentiment. And that's why we've seen China's higher quality dollar bonds suffering their worst sell-off in about 7 months. Traders saying spreads on investment grade notes, which account, of course, for the bulk of offshore dollar securities from Chinese issuers, they widened about 8 to 10 basis points Tuesday after widening about 7 basis points on Monday. So it's definitely spreading to these investment grade borrowers. Tencent is one of them. One of their notes had spreads widened by 12 basis points to 137 yesterday. On Tuesday, banks also, not surprisingly, the banks, BOCOM for one, BOCOM Hong Kong note widened 10 basis points. And let me just read you a quote from Mark Reed, head of fixed income desk research at Mizuho Securities Asia. He sums it up this way. So in the short term right now, he says, we believe some form of government policy easing or intervention is ultimately inevitable, at which time Chinese dollar bonds should rebound strongly. However, until then, the path of least resistance for Chinese credit spreads is wider. That's where we stand right now.